Hello everyone, my name is Mehek. I hope you guys are doing fine and you are safe. And like always, I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with another interesting book that I finished. And in my previous one or two videos, I've mentioned that how I'm enjoying reading about books which are basically a compilation of really short essays. And the book that I finished reading recently is also a compilation of these really short and to the point essays. The book is The Joy of Small Things. It's by Hannah Jane Parkinson. That's how it looks. It's a hardcover, cute little hardcover with a nice top picture here. Anyways, talking about a little about the author and how this book came into being. So during the pandemic, I think the author started writing columns for The Guardian, which is basically a news portal. And they also cover some lifestyle articles. So she started writing columns for them about things from our daily life that basically brought joy to her. And post the pandemic, she decided to compile all those columns into this book. So this book is basically a compilation of all those columns, which basically talks about the small things from the daily lives, from the daily life that brought joy to the author, that is Hannah. So there are about 100 essays, but they are very short and, like I said, to the point. And the best thing what I like about this book is that you can relate to most of the essays. It's just that because there are things from our daily life, like for example, she mentioned some of the things that bring joy to her is like going to cinema alone, or having pockets, or dressing gowns. So things like that most of us can relate to. It's just that sometimes we really struggle putting those feelings into words, and I think the author has done a fabulous job of doing that. I really enjoyed her writing style, loved it. I think I'm going to read more of her books if there are, because I really enjoyed this one. And we also read about the author's struggle with mental illness and addiction and how she overcomes. So like always, what I do is, because there's so many essays, but quickly I'm going to just share about some of my most favorite ones from this book. The first essay that I really liked is about always look up. So the author says that I want to advise you something is to always look up. If you're and even if you're living in the city, you might wonder, okay, what am I going to do? There's just buildings and all. So what? Just look up. Look up for the glass and the steel stretching higher and higher. She says, that looking up always reveals new treasures that we otherwise don't pay attention to. So make sure that you look up. And it's always nice to look at the sky as well sometimes and see, like I always do that, look at the different shapes that the clouds form. Okay, the next essay is about the clean bedding. All of us can agree that at the end of the tiring day, I think nothing brings joy or content than lying on a crisp clean bedding. At least I really enjoy that. So the author says that there is something more comforting than a luxury spa, and that is a clean bedding. It instantly lifts your mood up. So that is one essay on clean bedding. Then there is this essay on pockets. All the girls can agree here who is watching this video how much joy we get if our dress, especially dresses, they have pockets. It just makes our life so easy and convenient. The next essay is about the petrichor. So for those who don't know what petrichor means, it's the smell that you get after the first rain. We say mitti ki mehek. So the joy of that we derive from the first smell of the first rains. So there's one entire essay dedicated to that. Dogs in parks. I love dogs, I love animals, and it's just so nice when I go to the garden and I see dogs playing, and it's always nice that you can play with them. So I in fact derive joy in that as well, and I would agree to the author that it's always so nice to go to these parks and see dogs. So she says that with dogs, at least they are never lonely. Until unless they are lonely or maltreated, dogs are generally a very joyful creature, so it's always nice to have them around. Then there is this essay on finding running as well. So the high that you get after a run. So I was a person who used to hate running, and then I started running, and it's always the same. When I start, I'm hating it, but at the end of the day, when I finish my run and that target of those kilometers that I'm supposed to be running, there's this high that I experience, and that joy is just amazing. Then there is this essay of finding the lost things. Oh my god, all of us can agree that how much joy we get when suddenly we find a lost maybe glasses or any small things, trinket or something that has been lost from a file, and suddenly you find it. So that joy is amazing. Then she there's this essay about airplane mode. She says whoever has invented airplane mode, she could really kiss that guy or girl, because I think it's the best thing and we all should use it once in a while. I mean, there are times I feel like just turning on my airplane mode, especially on the weekends, and just shutting everything. So yeah, the joy of airplane mode is just amazing. A cup of tea, so all the chai or tea lovers would agree that the joy of the first cup in the morning, that you have, what joy it brings to you. For me, my morning and evening tea is really special. So the joy that a cup of tea brings to you. Then there is this essay on free upgrades. All of us love free upgrades. So I was on a trip with my husband, and we had booked a room in a hotel, and while giving us the key, she's like, oh, you know what, but I have upgraded you to your premium room. And we were like, okay, thank you. So all of us love that small acts of kindness. So yes, for free upgrades. Massages. So for my husband, he doesn't understand why we women love spas so much, but I think massages are just great, and they are the greatest gift to mankind. So the joy the spa or massages bring to us is amazing. And lastly, I think a trip to the hairdresser. Yes, this was again one essay that I enjoyed. Like, all of us love, going, at least I love going to a hairdresser, getting a blow dry, coloring my hair, or just a spa. It just makes you feel rejuvenated and fresh all over again. So yeah, these are some of the essays from the book that I really enjoy, but there are like a lot more, and like I said, you can relate to all of them. What I love about this book is that it instantly lifts your mood up. It tells you that small things do make difference. There are so many joyful, good things in our daily life that we can pay attention to. And I would like to point out one thing about which I think I have mentioned earlier also, that with essays, or books on essays, it's always nice. I would suggest you guys to not read it page after page, like in a sequence, and just open at any random chapter and read, because that's what is fun in reading these essays book. Like, it's not a book I would say to read, sit at one spot and consume it chunk after chunk. It's like on any day, just open the book and read one random chapter. So yeah, that's all on this book. I really enjoyed it. It's a gem. Like I said, it lifts your mood, and yeah, it has got it's witty. I loved her writing style. So the essays are full of fun, humor, and they're very warm. And yeah, so I think definitely recommending this book to each one of you. That's all. I'm going to see you guys with another book next week. Till then, take care. Bye bye.